Good afternoon, friends. It's a wonderful day. It happens to be Children's Day, and we couldn't have chosen a better time to be together. Mukund is a very tough act to follow, and Jyoti, that introduction was far too flattering. Thank you so much. But thank you all for being here, and I am very, very grateful for the privilege to be able to address you in this room. I want to actually not talk about air pollution so much today, and that may baffle you because I think that's what we all think we're here for. But Mukund has addressed, I think, some very important points that I'm sure each of you will take home. But I want to address something that I've been feeling very deeply. I am anguished, very, very anguished. I feel a very deep sense of empathy and pain for what I see around me. But I try very hard to acknowledge that pain and convert it into action. There is a very strong and compelling environment being created around us that is making us feel desperate. And many of us are feeling that desperation, but are also feeling extremely helpless. And I'm here to awaken the child in you and remind you, like I do myself every day, that it's okay to feel pain. It's okay to feel desperate. It's okay to feel anxious, but it's not okay to do nothing about it. So here's what I've been feeling. There's a few bullet points I've put together because I think, like the sun, we need to keep our thoughts concise so that they can be effective and reach many more. We live in the age of social media. Everything that is coming to us is coming in bullets, and it hits us hard, and sometimes it leaves us reactive and not responsive. So the question is, how can we become responsive and not reactive? We all know that over 7 million people are affected each year by air pollution. It's causing a lot of deaths. But this is a number. It's a number given to our nation by an external agency. Our governments are still grappling with this reality. They're unwilling right now to really accept the number because we don't have the science really that gives us the indication at what number do we stand as a nation. So while some of our government agencies are not acknowledging these numbers, let's just look around ourselves. Let's look at how rapidly and increasingly air pollution is being evidenced in our daily lives, in the health of our children, in the health of our elderly, and in the smog that we can very clearly see. Now, there's a very interesting newspaper clipping that started surfacing that blew my mind. It was an article, Mukund, that was written 20 years ago. It was a front page news item of a cricket match held in Delhi, where the England players were throwing up because of the pollution in the air. Jyoti, you told me this one, and then I saw it, and it blew my mind because I'm an 80s child. When I was born in 81, that's when the alarm bells of climate change had started to ring. Scientists were bringing evidence to the world of what was happening globally, how weather conditions were changing because of human activity, and a corrupted conscience that was killing our planet. But it was not only killing our planet, it was killing our people. Now, what is amazing about this planet is that it has a natural, self-repairing system that can actually regenerate and heal itself if human beings are willing to assist that regeneration. And that's what we really need to focus on. That is what the Sustainable Development Goals are. It is about acknowledging, finally, and truthfully and willingly, that we have a problem. And then saying, what can I do? How can I fix this? What are the changes I can bring in my daily life? Can I stop using single-use plastics? Can I start segregating my waste at home? Can I make sure my cooperative housing society starts composting waste and then segregating our waste further so that e-waste is going to the e-waste vendor, so that plastic waste is going to the recycling center, so that we have more waste management infrastructure in our country, and there are some extraordinary companies doing some extraordinary work. Can we clean up our water first? But first, let's start testing our water. Do we know what the contents of our water is that comes into the taps in our homes? And it's not about fear psychosis, it's about knowing so that we can do better. And it's only when we know better that we can do better. I keep coming back to knowing and doing, because there is a very strong rhetoric that is floating around right now that really bothers me, which is that people in activism, people in environment are misusing children for politics. And I'm sorry to use the word, but that is absolute bullshit. Because children are rising on their own. Children have access to knowledge now more than ever before. The science cannot be evaded and kept from them any longer. They know the truth, and children speak the truth. They speak plainly. They ask simple questions. They only want to know, what are we doing to fix these problems? And the great part about this is that they're not only asking us what we're going to do to fix these problems, they're also saying, I will work with you to fix these problems. There could not have been a better time in human history, because there are collaborations happening globally. The internet, this instrument, whatever form you own it in, is giving you access to the truth. Let's use it. Let's understand how we can rationalize it. And then let's start implementing it into our lives. And I really hope, more than anything else, that we can commit ourselves to doing more. Because the truth is that there is a child in all of us. The child that recognizes the truth, the child that recognizes how freeing truth is, and the child that knows that when we don't acknowledge the truth and we refuse to free ourselves from that truth, we feel restless and angry and anxious, and it destroys our life. We don't feel good. And when we don't feel good, we can't do good. We can't do good for ourselves, we can't do good for our families, and we can't do good for our country or the world. I am a citizen of this planet, and I hope each and every one of us can recognize that we too are members, citizens, inhabitants of this pale blue dot that has this miraculous life force that connects all of us beautifully, subtly, in a balanced way. And it's our work, really, to restore that balance. Thank you. Have a nice day.